Hi everyone, and welcome to my newest ASMR video. So this one has been requested by one of our beloved subscribers. So this is a great big shout out to her. And in honor of her and all of us here, I want to show you my earring collection. I'm not going to show all of my earrings in this video because I have a lot, so I might divide them into parts. But judging from the background and my lipstick right now, we are going to show some earrings in shades of purple and shades of blue. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see a lot more like these, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'm very happy to meet you. So I've got this fun little jewelry box, and it has the secret little puzzle that we need to solve in order to open. This is where I keep some of my jewelry, and in this case today, some of my earrings. So let's go ahead and solve this right quick and see what kinds of earrings we are looking at today. So it's got this in the center. I'm going to gently lift this. I'm going to turn it onto its side here and open. And there we go. And inside we have a great assortment of different types of earrings in shades of blue and purple. So let's start off with our first pair. I'm gonna look around, feel around, and the first one I pull up, I'll pull out its other significant other, I guess I'll call it that. So I think I'm holding a Dreamcatcher earring. Now this one I wore a lot when I was in high school, especially when I was not studying or engaging in theater. But I really loved the Dreamcatcher style. I always found them to be quite tingly and very nice to wear. And when I first had these, the actual ring was a shade of robin's egg blue, but over the course of the years it's faded into an off-white, which is also quite nice. The beads with this Dreamcatcher earring are in a golden orange on top, and then as you move further down you see some beads in shades of white, a couple of clear beads with a faded blue undertone, and then further down you see a burnt orange, followed by these silver pieces at the bottom. And then just to balance it off, you have these extra off-white beads on top. So it kind of matches the shirt I'm wearing, and I used to wear these all the time in order to get that tingly effect. So just as so, I'd wear one on this ear. Let me get this one's significant other up here too. And I'll put on this other one. Just like that. I love the way the pieces of the Dreamcatcher earrings just jingle and make some gentle sounds. Let's see, what kinds of musical notes is this pair of earrings giving me? This one feels like it's giving an E natural, and this one is also giving an E natural, which makes sense. But it's always nice to revisit pieces of jewelry that you wear during earlier eras, because it takes you back to that era, especially back to the good times. You know, there are many different kinds of sensory cues that we can use on ourselves that can take us back to a past beloved memory. So this is what these sets of earrings are doing for me. And ironically enough, it kind of matches the color of my top. So it's a nice sense of balance. And what I also love about these dangly earrings is that I can pin my hair back, and it allows the earrings themselves to highlight my face, highlight my neck, perhaps the collarbone, and just the overall bone structure. I had a lot of family members who were into the smaller earrings and the studs, but I always liked the dangly earrings, as long as they weren't too heavy. So, those are the set, the dream catchers, and I find them very mesmerizing, and I hope you do too. So let me put these down and see which other sets of earrings we can take a look at today. We'll rummage through here. I'm going to see if I can pick one up with one of these little bins. Oh, now these are quite fun. Let me pick this up with my hand. So this next set is in a shade of blue, and it has a little silvery accents attached alongside a couple of sequins. It's almost a robin's egg blue, but it has that little undertone of a seafoam green. And I didn't wear this type of earring too often when I was younger, but as I got older, it really started to grow on me, especially as I started learning about cool undertones and warm undertones. Now, the blue-green in itself, I think it's quite suitable for slightly warmer undertones. It kind of reminds me of the natural color of my veins when I look at them, because it's more of a green tone. However, it does add an extra layer of mystery with the silver and the sequins. So with these, let me show you what they look like on my ears. And I do like to wear these whenever I am wearing something in a seafoam green or anything that has a touch of silver, because sometimes I like to break the rules of color analysis. It's fun to be a little daring. Let's see, the other one is hiding in here somewhere. But as I am looking for it, this one has definitely grown on me a little. But I'm not sure if it does the most justice with my natural blush. I think it gives me more of a washed out appearance, but it could also be because I'm wearing a couple of things suited for warmer undertones and a couple things suited more for the cooler undertones. So it really all depends, to be honest. So here's the other one. Of course, whenever we look for items, the one we look for the most is always at the bottom in the back. But I like the little sequins this one has, and it has that nice kind of twist pattern, so it gives it a little bit more personality. And this might be one I may wear when going out. If I want something a little more on the simpler side and I don't want too much of a dramatic effect. So it's a little bit more on the elegant end of things. Okay, so that's the second pair. Oh, and by the way, if you have a favorite pair, feel free to post in the comments down below, and I might post more videos of myself wearing those types of earrings. You never know. Alright, so that's the second pair. Let's take a look for the third pair. Oh, I know which one I'm picking up. So this one is one of my favorites. I don't wear it too often because it is a little heavy compared to some of my other earrings, but on a special event or a special occasion, I love wearing these. I also like that it comes with that painted gold tone on top, and it's got that shade of white for the crystal in the center, and then goes more towards a purple, almost amethyst color. I'm 80% sure this is just quartz, but I really love wearing this with this type of lipstick or anything that has a shade of purple or a shade of lavender or a shade of gold, any kind of gold or even bronze accent I like to wear with these types of earrings. So for you all, I will put these on. Again, they are a little heavier than the typical earrings I have, but I think it adds a dazzling feature to this frame. Let me get out its significant other, because I think they should be paired off. Here we go. And the white and the purple really give a nice sense of balance, from the lipstick to the background to the top. It's a very nice way to highlight each of these features and balance each of them surely. If only I had a little something in gold, and this look would feel complete in my opinion. But I really love feeling them when they are waving. If I give slight taps to each of the earrings, they're not as tingly as some of my other ones, but I sometimes get a nice ASMR experience from tingling them and tapping them. But I just feel so mesmerized by seeing them almost floating in a way. So that's that one. And like I said, I'm almost completely certain that this might be quartz, or at least something related to quartz. And you can see such a great amount of detail, luster, and sparkle from each of these earrings. Let's see, what is the next pair we should try? Let's head back into our trusty jewelry box and see what we have next. Oh, I think I know what this is. Is this the one with the skull? It's the skull, but it pulled up one of the other earrings alongside it. You can go back in there for now. So this one is a lot of fun. I think I wore this one to a singing gig around Halloween time. I had this goth bride costume, and I thought these earrings would be perfect. And earlier, when I was going to do an Edgar Allan Poe reading, I was thinking about wearing these earrings too because of the skull. The skull itself is in shades of purple, slight blue, and a little bit of gold. the middle of this earring is a nice ring in the shade of violet with a golden accent. And then you have this little dark ball, this dark sphere with a spiral at the bottom. So it adds a lot of nice sense of play, mystery. It's a nice conversation starter, and this one is always guaranteed to turn heads, at least in my experience. I often get compliments on this type of earring, and I don't just like wearing this on Halloween, I like wearing this whenever. So I'll put this one on. You can already see how it kind of brightens my overall look, from the purple to the slight tinge of gold. Let me look for the other earring that is in here. I know it is in here, probably in the back. Ah, yes, of course. So here's the other one. And again, shades of purple, blue, even a little bit of green. And I just love how this one frames my face and it adds so much personality. I love watching different kinds of horror films, or at least Halloween-based films, and this is a very nice way to further highlight that side of me. And this one is a lot of fun to touch too. It's not very heavy, it's quite balanced in its distribution, and it's a lot of fun to wear with this lipstick as well. In terms of its tingle factor, this one hasn't given me tingles yet, but I think because most of the time when I'm wearing these, I like to perform and I'm always distracted by the singing and the music anyway. So, that's the skull earring. Let's see, what's the next one we should take a look at together? I believe we have 3 more pairs to take a look at in terms of like blues and purples. Well, I think we might as well pull out the earring that the skull pulled out earlier. This one is similar in theme to the skull earring and the quartz earring because it has the shades of purple and some tinges of gold. And whenever you turn it, the gradient and distribution of the colors change over time. It also has a very detailed and intricate design of each of the leaves, from the actual cells, I like to call, to the stem, to the border of the leaf in itself. And this one is always fun to wear in parties, or I would like to think in any kind of garden related party or gathering. So allow me to demonstrate what this one looks like. And despite how large it is compared to the other earrings, these are extremely light. So here's the other one. And just like the first one, you can see how quickly the color changes when you move it around. I think it's so beautiful. Whoever came up with this design is a master themselves. Master of the arts. I love the gold and purple in this one. I think it's such a beautiful combination. And even when we think back to color theory, sometimes people place purple and yellow together. So purple, the secondary color, and yellow, the primary color. But when you replace the yellow with the gold, it really outpours and augments the purple from the standard purple to a royal type of purple. So you can almost feel like a sense of royalty when you're wearing earrings like these. And they're even musical. I'm hearing a bit of a B flat when I tap on these. Actually, I hear B flat from this one and an A flat from this one. That's interesting. Maybe this one's a little lighter. Huh. Well, that's fascinating, isn't it? Let's take a look at our next pair of earrings. So like I said, we have 2 more left. Let me show you my other set of dream catchers. So this one is in a lovely shade of blue. Actually, 2 lovely shades of blue. The blue threads on top are more of a warm blue, almost like a teal or a turquoise, while the blue beads at the bottom are more of a robin's egg blue, but with a little bit more body to it. The further balance comes from the brown threads on top and the brown orange beads, and how they match with the brownish orange beads at the bottom. And it kind of goes with my top due to the white beads at the very bottom. And just like with the first pair of Dreamcatcher earrings, it has these little silver shards at the bottom. And I think these are so majestic. So let me demonstrate what they look like in my ears. See what kinds of relaxing sounds it could make. Not sure how they would be against the microphone. Okay. I think you can start to see that I really like the long and dangly earrings, especially if they're on the lighter side and have some sort of play behind them. But you can see this kind of augments the top I'm wearing. Might add some more brightness to the whites of eyes, to the teeth. Gives more of that sense of balance. And I think purples and blues go very nicely together anyway. Kind of reminds me of just one portion of a romantic sunset. Add some tinges of pinks and orange and we are there. These are fun to tap along to. You can almost feel like some kind of goddess or god with these on. And like I said, with the longer and more fun and elaborate earrings, I tend to pin my hair back more to give them the spotlight. Because if I had my afro out and these, it would still be a fun combination, but I would also have a fear that it would get caught into my hair. Okay, so we have one more set of earrings to go through together. But I hope you are enjoying looking at each of these. So, I can't remember where I got this last pair, but they almost look like they came from a glass museum. So these have some portions in blue and some portions in green. And each of these, which are made of glass, come with a turquoise bead on top and these tiny white dots around the bottom. And the rim in the middle doesn't have any beads attached, but it definitely balances the blue turquoise beads at the very top and the bottom and helps to highlight the lower rim of green. So let me show you what this one looks like. I think these are very fun to wear. I'm almost certain I got this from a glass making place. This could be fun to wear with any blue or green or even white outfit. And this one can turn heads as well, especially with the eye-catching white dots around. This one could be tingle-worthy as well. You can see how it could catch the light and refract it. And again, just like with the other earrings that have some traces of white, it kind of highlights the off-white top and everything else. So while we were going through each of these, what were your favorite pairs of earrings and why? Does the favorite type of earrings depend on the color? Does it depend on the style? Does it depend on how tingle-worthy they are? What do you think? And again, I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for checking out this video. And if you enjoyed it and want to see more, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is Candy SMR.